So the audio is probably going to be dog shit, but either way, I wanted to sort of make a little video. I've wanted to make content for a really long time, kind of. Not like actually wanted to, as in like had plans or dreamed about it, but I've always idealized producing content. Obviously, not the route of like, I've kind of dibble dabbled with like writing a script and like trying to get my thoughts across in that manner, but either a mix of me being well, it's a mix of me being lazy and also just not really enjoying that. That has made me not do it because I've tried a couple times. Um, I just like more personable type of content, and I've really always enjoyed people who can speak from the dome, like streamers, podcasters, people who just have a stream of consciousness that's really well developed. And I personally have a really good one when it's just me, when I'm just talking to myself in my head and sort of going over my day or shit that's happened to me. And I just want to see if that translates well to video. I had a earlier run in; it was pretty bad, but I think I got it now. Um, so I've recently been pondering death quite a lot, and one thing that's always held me back, um, just to circle around, held me back from recording my thoughts is the fact that everything you or me or anybody around can think of or um, create, maybe not artistically, but like create thoughts, has been thought of before. Like any philosophical take, any idea, any like opinion you can have on any like moral conundrum or anything that's happening, or any like ways to do stuff has been thought of and written about and whatnot. And it's out there. It's out there. Everything's out there. You know, if you really want to deep dive into all this shit, you can. But I guess I'll just be speaking from my own experiences with these thoughts. Um, I think death is like this really big elephant in the room that's just sitting there, and people get reminded of it and will stare at it and just be like, "What the fuck are you?" and just freak out for like solid amounts in their life. I think the older you get, obviously, you start to notice it more. When you're younger, you know, a young teen, you are like, "Oh, cool," you know, dying. Okay, I'm not gonna die. No one's gonna die around me. But then as you get older, you have someone that's close to you die, or you have a near death experience. I haven't had anybody particularly close to me die. I've had people that I know and I've been acquainted with die, but nobody that I've been like close to, that I've shared my thoughts with and shared experiences that I would personally say are like special. So I've been spared. But also, I was somewhat close to dying earlier last year, I think. My timeline's kind of fucked. But basically, diagnosed with cancer. A doctor that I went to for it kind of botched the first surgery and the second surgery and was planning a third, but it didn't really go through because my mom pulled me out of that shitty hospital and that like independent doctor, and she just took me to like a really world-renowned cancer center of all places because I had a tumor, right? And I went to the ER, completely just dying. I had like leaks and scar. It just like my insides were fucking. It was all leaking, and my bile had like a bile tear, and there's like everything was just. I don't know the actual specifics of it, but basically I was just rotting from the inside out. It was miserable. Any little shake, movement, I could barely get up. And I spent a long time being like I think a few months, 2 months, a month, recovering in the hospital, and then finally got sent. It's a really long story, but basically I got sent home to fully recover from that surgery, and then I had a Whipple surgery to sort of clean up what he fucked up and maybe get rid of the cancer. And then after I healed from that, I went through my chemo treatment. Basically, I've got diagnosed with cancer, bad surgery, better surgery, healing, chemo, stage 3 cancer. cancer free now, and you know, pretty traumatic experience. So I've like reconsidered a lot of things, and I've sort of stepped back and really reassessed what's going on with life and whatnot. But on death, what I want to say is back to the main point. It's this really big elephant that's in the room, and typically, if you're like at a job or at school or any place where people gather, and there's like little microbiome of people, or whatever. If there's an issue, you know, people will start pointing it out and be like, hey, we're being, we gotta walk this far to get to, the gate to leave work. Um, or, oh, lunch is this, like there's some issue, people kind of talk about it. It's like, this isn't fair, this isn't right, and then administration changes it. Or one person in power is like, oh, this isn't right, let's change it, And that's like the cool thing about the society we live in is that everything you participate in is managed and managed by humans, by people, just like me and you. Like, it's great. They're basically we've gotten to a point in society where we've fucking completely destroyed the reality of nature having any say over what we do or whatever. Obviously still rain or natural disasters, but typically speaking, most of your problems that you encounter on a day-to-day basis are because of other people. And the fucking hilarious thing about death is that it's the one thing that, as of right now, 2023, fucking April 2nd, I think, we don't have a solution for death. You die. You will die. Your body will eventually either give out on you, you'll succumb to disease, you will get into a freak accident, and then you are no longer living. Your brain, boom, gone. And I just find it crazy. Not really crazy. I have such a hard time doing stuff now and not being like, but death, like some sort of death trauma. And I think that the reason I wanted to start making videos is to make sure I'm a little bit more alive or, aware, because like usually when you're a kid, at least for me, like I was so much more engaged and like sort of keyed in on what's going on in life. Now, I'm not sure if it's just getting older that you sort of, yeah, it's definitely, you get older and you sort of like, stuff's just, you get desensitized. There's this thing where your brain, if you imagine your brain as like a hill, a snow hill, and you ski down it, right? As a little kid, it's a brand new hill, so you'll ski down this path because it's cool, or you ski down that path or this path, or you find out, oh shit, if I ski down, X path, my life's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for me to function this way. It's a lot easier for me to act a certain way in public. It's a lot easier for me to get my shit done or not get my shit done. It's a lot easier to, socialize like this or stick with these group of people. And the more and more that you sort of travel down those paths, it reinforces your patterns and you become a creature of patterns. And there are very few ways to sort of shift that paradigm that you sort of view the world through, that you interact with, psychedelics being one of them. And I just think that I have been sliding down that hill really badly, and I've always wanted to journal, or I've always had the urge to journal, and I don't know. I just think that writing is so weird because yes, you're conveying stuff, you're conveying your thoughts and feelings and whatnot, but you have to have like, I do have a decent knack for using words. Like if I sit down long enough, I can convey a certain thought in a certain way, and it's like so beautiful. It's like a tool set, right? But don't really, me personally, I don't want to take the time out of my day or the effort to develop like a really pretty way, like a really pretty paragraph that describes the conundrum I'm in, or whatever fucking conscious experience is, tearing me at the seams or like really being problematic. I would much rather just rant about it, because you can change your way of talking, your expressions, and it's a lot more alive. Like I think if I were to find a like some remnants of a human that has passed away, I would much rather I'd probably rather watch like videos or video content or voice content than reading it. I think reading is beautiful and it's so great for stories and poems and artistry as an artist and as an artistic thing. But as a documenting thoughts type of thing, I just think it's inefficient for me. Um, so yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm trying to do it for myself, but I think I'm going to publicize it because why the fuck not? I have a lot of insecurities about this that I am just rearing to throw out there, but I think I'll do what a man is supposed to do and just suck it up. I will hopefully be having more interesting and fleshed out conversations. I was just trying to warm up to talking into a camera and making my thoughts, make sense out loud.